What's up, friends? Today we're checking out the group Treasure. We're looking at Bona. We'll be listening to the song from the perspective of a producer and a songwriter. So expect a few pauses to go over specific sections, how everything is developing, what instruments are being used, how they're producing the song. Nice. Great introduction. Love how just sparse it is. It's very cinematic. They start with this high synth, and I like how even the melody itself has kind of like this slower part and then a quicker little run. So it gives this real movement vibe to it, this very three-dimensional aspect. Then the bass comes in about halfway through, and then we get their vocals coming in on this next section. Really like how minimalistic the sound design is so far.
낮에따는 태양 새벽의 별 같아 내 세상 속에 네가 매일 떠오르니까.
So cool. I love that little section right there. How you have these synths pairing up with their vocals to emphasize rhythmic portions. It's a very siny, a very harsh sounding synth. And on the last synth, there's this cool like right at the high end that is so cool. It's so clear. Everything else is very like distorted and very siny. But that part has a lot more clarity to it at the end of the synth. And I just freaking love it. It's so well done. Great way to introduce the vocals into the song. After that real sparseness, you know, you have just like a lot of harmonic energy and a lot of distortion.
Baby, don't cry. 꽉 잡아. 여기 떠나. 너만 내가 영원할 곳으로. Cause I can't stop. 꿈을 가져. 여기 폭탄. 우리 파괴하는 것들뿐이야. You're magic in my mind.
Really simple beat in terms of the drums. It's just like 4 on the floor type beat with a slightly more interesting hi-hat, although it's very like in the back of the mix. What's really bringing out the dancey vibe of this is the syncopation with the synths. They're not right on that 1, 2, 3, 4. They're creating more of this. They're creating more of an interesting rhythmic thing, and I think that really enhances the overall experience. It's really like creating a new vibe. And you'll notice that with a lot of house music and a lot of really good dance music, sometimes the actual drums will be very simplistic, but the other instruments that play on top of them are creating space in between that really basic rhythm to make us want to move, you know? The lack of congruence between the instruments is what's creating that vibe.
정해진 운명은 없다고 하지만 수만 번 생각해봐도 눈을 뜨고 태어났을 때부터 난.
Great little pre-chorus, very classic K-pop, very classic EDM, where you have just kind of like this reverse crash, reverse hi-hat, and then a snare pattern or a clap pattern that speeds up right at the end. Really digging the vocalists in this group. There's a lot of clarity in their vocals, but there's still a lot of personality. There's a lot of emotion that they're inserting into it too, which is kind of hard to do with something that's requiring so much precision and so much clarity. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Bona, love ya.
Was not expecting this. Oh. Not expecting what's going on in this song. I did not expect that massive rhythmic change, that really kind of breakdown feeling. They do that by having a halftime with the drums. And it's just such this like rocker breakdown section. And then when they reintroduce that synth that we heard at the beginning, now with someone rapping on top of it, it kind of recontextualizes what that introduction was. And I just love that.
네 맘에 문 열어둬 yeah. 파고들어 너의 core yeah. Forever ever long 갈 수 있게 아바카차바
멋지면 변널고 내 전부 다 거절은 거절해 난 너 말고 아무것도 안 담아 네 품에 난 가져 감싸줘 X's and O's
널 반복되는
I'm really digging the rappers in this group. They've selected some really great rhythmic rappers, and I like the differentiation between them. That first one almost had like kind of a G-Dragon thing going on. Second one more of like, you know, that deep voice top thing. And yeah, they're great. They're just really good. They're not G-Dragon or top, obviously, but they have that similar energy that I'd expect from them, which is so cool.
마다 본드랩에 찾아서 게르는 겐저고 돌아서 마침 배파 너네 마지막 영원히 놓지 않나 No doubt 눈이 번쩍 뜨여졌어 너랑 무섭 너를 갖고 싶어 훔쳤으니까 나를 건져 Come closer 우리 사랑의 시작일 뿐이야 You're magic in my mind
That was so unexpected. Like, I just love that transition there. It's so harsh and yet it still feels right, you know? Like, I'm just instantly drawn back into the dancey vibes. I love when second verses take such a departure from the first verse. We did that a lot with my band Jack Jack on our latest album Birds Aren't Real, which I recommend checking out. I'll have a link at the end.
정해진 운명은 없다고 하지만 수만 번 생각해봐도 눈을 뜨고 태어났을 때부터 난 Bona love ya Yeah yeah Bona love ya Bona love ya
The amount of time they take in between that first chorus and the second chorus is really intense, and I love it. I love when music takes so many risks in terms of form, because the form of the song is intro, verse, and the first verse is kind of weird, and then they have this little pre-chorus thing, then the chorus, and then you have almost like a bridge element, just a completely different thing with that hip-hop breakdown. And then we get back to that verse, and then we go to the pre-chorus chorus. So it's like we had this interruption in everything that wouldn't normally fit there, and I love when that happens.
아침을 가들 때까지 Let's speed it up Let's speed it up 달아나지고 끝까지 Let's speed it up Let's speed it up 둘만의 섬으로 가자 다른 사람은 안 돼 Baby you hold it I need No 내 삶의 climax 뜨거워 the burning love I got this bullet 태워 you're my adrenaline 넌 내 삶의 climax 뜨거워 the burning
This breakdown just feels so right. Rockin'. Rock stars. Absolute rock stars. Loved that ending. So much energy in that ending. So much hype, you know? You feel like you're just like bouncing around. I like the gang vocals in the back. They were really imprecise, which is not as common in K-pop, and I just love that they're implementing that. Really great vocals throughout this whole song. Some great singers and some great rappers too. Just super well done. Love that marching drum aspect to the end as well. It felt like something that I can just imagine being in concert at and just losing my mind over, you know, just like dancing around and yeah. You can hear that in the background. They like already inserted that in the background, expecting that cool crowd response, which is just great. I love that that happens so much in this genre of music, that there's this attention to how is this going to function in an arena setting. Like, how is this going to function with a massive crowd? So smart. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this song. I thought it was great. Great first experience to Treasure. If you have songs or albums you recommend by Treasure, send them my way. Might check them out. I don't know if I'll talk about them immediately, but yeah, send them my way and I'll start listening to more of them. Send me some of your favorites. Also, I'd love it if you checked out my band's latest album, Birds Aren't Real. It's right here. It would mean so much to me. Also, you might notice this is a new channel. I'm separating my old Kevin Basset stuff from Kevin Basset to K-pop Kevin, to have a channel just exclusively dedicated to K-pop. So if you are someone who expected that type of thing and you exclusively wanted that from me, this is where you can get it. Thanks so much. Catch you on the flip.
I can't face